In this Camtasia video, I want to explain how the implicit association test and your assignment worth 25% of the grade for this course will work. You must take a look at the rubric for this assignment, which is on your Georgia View site. Notice that it directs you to a URL or link to the implicit association test. It also explains how you should answer the test. Once you take the test and receive the results, you will then answer this question. What topic did you take for your implicit association test? The topics are between these categories. You must pick one: Arab, Muslim, age, religion, gender, career, race, sexuality, disability, skin tone, gender science, Asian American, or Native Americans. Now, again, you identify the topic you take, and you'll see them in a minute, and you will identify the subtopics represented in that test. I'll give you an example. And then you answer this question: what did the IAT claim were your preferences among these subtopics? What positive or negative attributes do you believe that you ascribe to one or more of the subgroups within one of the categories based on your attitude towards diversity generally or that group in particular? Does the test agree with your answer? If not, why do you think the test came out this way based on the questions and how the test was structured? If yes, why do you think the test managed to mirror those expectations based on the questions and how the test was structured? Now that seems abstract, possibly confusing, but here's the way to make it seem clear. First of all, go to the implicit instruction test. Click on the link. You will then see these categories. They are the categories I just identified. You will choose one of the categories. Now let's suppose you took the category age. You click on age, and then you follow the instructions. Click here to begin. It says you've opted to complete the young-old IAT. Click continue. It gives you some information here. After you read this information, you click I am ready to begin. You click here to begin, and you follow the instructions here. Basically, you put your index finger on the E key or the I key. Actually, you put your left index finger on the E key and your right index finger on the I key, and you follow these instructions. Press the space bar to begin and take the test. Now, after you take the test, you will get a result. And when I took the test, I got this result. It says the data suggests a strong automatic preference for young compared to old. And it shows the statistics of how other people resulted from this test, how their results came out from this test. You see that most people, in fact, the largest single group, 35%, that's not most people, but that's the largest plurality, 35%, had the same result: strong automatic preference for young people compared to old people. A smaller percentage, 29%, had moderate automatic preference for young people compared to old people. Only 0.4% had a strong automatic preference for old people compared to young people. So when I would take the quiz, here's how I would answer it. I would say that I think that I have a slightly more positive attitude towards young people than old people. But the test did not agree, because it said that I have a strong automatic preference for young people compared to old people. So notice that I say in my essay that the subgroups are young versus old, as well as good versus bad, but that's how they get the preference. In other words, they use those subcategories, young versus old, good versus bad, to develop an understanding based on how I take the test, how quickly I take the test, and based on my mistakes as I take the test, to determine whether I have a slight or strong preference for one or the other age category. So that's what I would say. Let me repeat the essay answer. The two categories are young versus old and good versus bad. The test reported that I have a strong automatic preference for young people compared to old people, but that did not match my expectations because I think I have a slightly more positive attitude towards young people than old people, but it's only slight. Then I would go on to say, why do I think the test came out this way based on the questions and how the test was structured? Because that's what the question asks me. Here you would say, if you believe this, that I think the results came out this way because the test asked me to go quickly and that made me nervous. I believe if I had not been nervous, I would have answered the questions in such a way that the test results would have matched my expectations for the results. And that would be the end of the essay, if you believe that. But if you believe the test may have gotten it right, even though you were surprised by the results, you would explain that the test got it correct because it was structured quickly so that your actual, true, but unconscious beliefs would come out rather than your conscious expectations. Then you would explain why your unconscious beliefs were not the same as your conscious expectations. You might say, for example, that the media, I believe, makes me prefer younger people a little more than older people than I thought I did, or some other answer that you truly believe in. So that would be it, and as long as you are clear and grammatical in your explanation, you should get a very high grade. Remember, if you go back to the rubric, you will see what you have to do to get 5 points, 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, and so on. And 5 points is the highest you can get. So this will be averaged out on a 100-point scale for your 25% grade. But for the assessment of the course, it will be 5 points will be the highest you can get. So that's how you answer the essay question. And it appears that the Harvard Implicit Association test is working quite well.